everybody. We are so back and we are so excited to continue introducing you to the speakers that are coming to the WOW ABC conference in November in St. Louis. And at this moment, I am joined by the impeccable Emily. I'm super excited to be able to share the stage with Emily. I have been a fan of Emily's. I've been one of her big staunch supporters. I've pushed her into the speaking world, and anytime I can drop her name for any summit or anything, it's great. So I knew that I wanted her. I was hoping to the submission gods and education gods, they would select her, and she has, and she's here. And you all are going to be so moved and so excited because this woman knows what she talks about, and she does it in a way that you're going to go, oh my gosh, I am doing that, keep doing that. And she's going to give you that confidence to help you succeed and go a little further. And she's obviously going to help you all with Gen Z. I'm not going to talk about Gen Z. I barely understand my generation, let alone Gen Z. But Emily, thank you for joining me today, my friend.
Thank you for having me and for that introduction. I just want to bring you with me everywhere to introduce me.
Let's tell our attendees, why was it important to you to share the topic about Gen Z? What is it in your passion and your drive and with what you do on the daily? Why is that topic so near and dear to your heart?
For many reasons. One, social media is already scary, right? For all of us as business owners, like, what do we do with this? And now it's a whole new demographic of people that we're trying to reach. And it's not, especially for wedding professionals who have been in business for years and years, the same marketing tactics and the same way of reaching couples that you were using, even a couple of years ago are not necessarily what the next generation of couples are looking for. And so to be able to talk about Gen Z and their buying habits and their social media usage habits and how that all comes together is really important to me, because I want people's businesses to continue to succeed as people get married. And Gen Z is coming. Like, that's who's getting married now, and they're going to continue to be coming for the next, decade plus. And so the more that we can educate ourselves now, the more we can be ready for that in the future.
And are you from the belief, I mean, I know the stat supports it, but this generation has only ever had a phone. So they have a phone for video, for communication. How do you think, as wedding pros across all niches, why that are connecting with them via the phone, whether it be in whatever social media platform is, but they're looking at us? I mean, let's be honest, Emily, aren't most of them looking on the phone for their website as well? So we have to be mobile ready and also knowledgeable ready about Gen Z. So do you find that is the case, that because they're that generation, every connection, everything they make is going to rely a little bit on how easy you are to talk about mobile?
Yeah. Mobile is very important, and not in a way of being scared, like, oh, I don't use all the social platforms, so I can't reach them. They also really value authenticity. And so it's not about being everywhere for them. It's about showing up and providing value, because they are looking for that. They're looking for, your brand ethics. They're looking for what you stand for. They're looking for the work that you create. And so it's more than just like, here's my website, here's my Instagram, like, book a call with me. Like, they're looking for a lot before they take that next step to even maybe want to get to know you. And the best way to start to get to know them before that process even happens is through social media, and what you're putting out on your phone content is really what it comes down to.
And I was talking to Christina earlier about, WOW has 2 years, 1 year, maybe even less. Sometimes this might be a first conference to people like myself who've been in business 40 and 50 years. We're a level playing field now. So now, regardless of how long you've been in the industry, you just have to retrain your brain, right? It's that mindset shift. I'm going to be able to meet this client because, and if you're a brand new person, it's I'm going to be able to meet this client because. How do you marry those two together and maybe give some of our veterans, we'll use the word, and newbies, we don't like titles around here, but we're going to do it for the contents of a talk. How do you prepare them to come to the conference and hear your session and not be afraid, on either end?
It's not about changing who you are at all. It's not about, I have to learn a whole new, language for Gen Z. I have to learn, a whole new, like, everything. It's about who you are, but sharing that message in a way that reaches them. And so, we are going to talk a lot at WOW about how to do that and how they are receptive. But it's really about, making sure that you're clear on your own brand and your own values and your own, what you offer that sets you apart. And then how can you communicate that to somebody? So whether you're brand new or you've been in business for decades, it's about how can you take who you are and share that in a way that reaches the Gen Z demographic, but also while not forgetting your millennials, because they are still getting married. This isn't about, throw out everything you've ever done. We're starting new with new people. It's about how are we just kind of bringing new people into the fold? And it can be a challenge, right? Because what millennials are looking for and what Gen Z is looking for are different. So how do we marry that together? It all comes down to who you are and what they're, what you have is what somebody's looking for versus, what somebody else has. You're not everything for everybody, as we know. And the same thing goes for Gen Z. They're looking for different things, and what you offer them may not be what somebody else is offering them, and that's okay.
Well, you touched on we're not for everybody. I think we as an industry still have a hard time with that. I still think we as an industry are trying to please everybody. Oh, well, if somebody doesn't hire me, it's because I'm too old, or I'm too gay, or I'm not gay enough, or I'm not showing enough social presence of ethnicity. What is it that I can do different? And I think as an industry as a whole, we get so caught up in, well, they're not going to hire me. Well, how do you know that? Or I don't relate to them. How do you know that? You do a lot on social media. And is it fair to say that you believe 100% that social media belongs in growing the wedding industry and growing your business, that you have to be present on social media?
Yes. And I say that with a caveat of that does not need to be that is not your whole business structure. But to not be anywhere at all is a risk, because people are looking for that. I'm not saying that you have to be on every channel. I'm not saying that the majority of your business cannot be word of mouth. It can't, you can grow your business in so many other ways, but if you don't exist on social platforms, you haven't touched your social platforms in several years, that's sending an inaccurate message about your business. It's saying, yeah, their work is incredible. They do incredible weddings. But if they can't keep up with their social media and they only post once every 6 months, how busy are they? Are they gonna have time for me as a couple? Are they gonna have time to plan my wedding? And so it's about the message that it's sending, but couples are looking for you beyond just your website or beyond just your reviews. And so having a presence there is important, and not in a way of I'm trying to scare people, we need to spend all our time on social media now. That's the end all be all, but being somewhere beyond your website and your reviews and your networking is very important.
And do you think that's equally important if you're brand new versus a seasoned veteran?
I do. And I think that gets really scary for new people, because it's what content do I post? I don't have anything. Maybe I've never done any weddings at all. What am I posting? I can't take things from other people. And so that comes down to really, that's where we talk about, showing your face and showing up on camera. And I know that is also very scary. I'm not trying to scare people here, but it's about creating that relationship. Gen Z especially is looking for transparency. And so going to what you said, I'm not enough this or I'm not enough that for somebody. It's actually about leaning into those things, because they're looking for that. Maybe you're not enough whatever for somebody, but somebody is looking for what you are. And the more that you lean into that, you lean into your beliefs, you lean into your values, you lean into what you offer, that is what people are looking for. So I think people, start to kind of pull back. I want to be that for everybody. That's, human nature. We want to make people happy, especially in the wedding industry. Our goal is to, make people happy. It's our job. And so when people are starting to pull back on that, how do I please everybody? It's actually kind of about leaning forward into that and being I am only going to please certain people. And the way I do that is by being me and showing that, whether it's the work I create, but also who I am as a business owner, who my team is, et cetera, et cetera. It's about showing up.
Well, and I think that the longer you get into this, and if you just came into this because you left a 9-to-5 and now you want to work 3, 6, 7, 24, so you came into this industry with all these grand ideas. And the first time somebody says, oh, well, you're not for me, we take it so personally. And you're like, no, it's not that you're not for them. I'm here to tell you, and I believe I know you enough, Emily, to be able to tell people as well. It is, you want to work with those clients that are going to appreciate the talent and the knowledge that you bring for them. You want to set your team up and yourself up for success. And that is not pleasing everybody. So if I'm brand new on social media, and I'm going to say brand new 1 to 10 years, right? The industry changes so much. If you don't have a lot of content, and you touched on that as well, maybe people think I'm too busy, I'm not posting enough. And a lot of us work with these big, big weddings that we can't post things, and others, you may not want to have another wedding like the one you just did, so you don't want to post some of those images. How about talking, and how important is it for Gen Z to share your passion? I got into wedding industry for this, and show some behind the scenes of the things that you love to do. Can you still say you're in the wedding industry, whatever niche it is, without showing the actual work of the wedding? Can you still get that point across to Gen Z just by, you said, turning on the camera and sharing?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they are going to want to see what they're paying for, right? And so there needs to be a way to show them that, but they also want to see who they're working with, because at the end of the day, I can hire people who can create similar visions, but if I vibe with one of you and I don't vibe with the other one, it's clear I'm going to go with the person that I have a relationship with, because you're spending so much time with them leading up to the wedding. And so that relationship is very important. And so, especially if you have no content, the way to do it is about talking about your passion and behind the scenes. People are very interested in what goes into your business. And you would be very surprised at how much Gen Z just likes to consume other people's lives. Like the amount of videos that are getting watched on TikTok of people just like, doing their makeup or getting ready or like just being human beings is so valuable. And so even if it is just like, I worked on my computer today, but like, here's the, tablescape I laid out, or like, here's a venue layout that I created. Like that maybe hasn't happened yet. And maybe you just mock that up for fun, but that is still like a way to show work and talk and create a relationship without having anything that you've already planned before.
So Emily, why was it important for you to be on this stage? What's the message you want to share, and why is it so important that this is now your opportunity to be at WOW?
Yeah, it's important to me that people know that while social media is important, it doesn't need to be everything. I think that it's presented in such a way that it's so scary. And because it's scary, we all kind of are like, I'm not touching this and I don't know what to do. And then we get in our heads, we don't want to show up on camera, we don't want to do these things. And really it's a lot less scary than it seems. And I am very passionate about making sure that it looks not scary and is attainable for people. And I think especially when you start, kind of falling down those rabbit holes of education and like, what do I do? What do I post? What do I do? That like this, that, and the other thing. A lot of people are like, you got to post this many times, or there's all these like hard and fast rules. And while yes, we like guidelines, it's more about, what can we handle as a business owner that's not going to burn us out. And so I am very excited to be at WOW and talk about this, because I want people to know that it is possible without, also becoming a social media manager, because that's not why you got into the wedding industry. You didn't also become a marketer and all these other things. It's doable without like dedicating your whole life to it.
So share a little bit about your connection with the wedding industry. Why the wedding industry? Why did you want to bring your knowledge and your passion to this group of creatives?
To the wedding industry? Yeah, I've been in the wedding industry since day one. I had an internship at the Knot in college, and then I never left. And so I feel very passionately about working with small businesses, and the wedding industry at its core is small businesses. And so from that and the creativity, like it's everything I love. I love being able to show creativity, and the wedding industry is like pairing that with social media, like the prime outlet for creativity is incredible. So I'm very excited to work with wedding pros. I have always worked with wedding pros and publications throughout my career. So I'm very excited to be in a room of wedding pros and be able to talk about this and answer questions. I love answering questions about social media and like marketing and how I can help people. So very excited for that.
And if you haven't been able to tell, Emily's very approachable as well. Again, I go back and I'm going to praise the education team for bringing a group of people and speakers that bring a vast variety of knowledge and experiences. So since you came into, you came through the Knot and the internships no bit, somebody may say, how important is it that we don't always listen to somebody who is a wedding planner, who is a makeup artist, who is a photographer? One of the things that I think is so joyful about you is you bring that. You might not be on the wedding nine hours a day. You might not have 900 hours of weddings on your belt. You're looking at it from a different perspective. Why do you feel that is one of your strong superpowers?
Yeah, because it allows me to look at so many weddings, and it allows me to look at so many different kinds of businesses and, different budgets, different types of planners, different types of, demographics and where you plan and what you create. And so the trends across that and the trends across the types of couples, I can kind of, I get to bring like a larger picture to that versus like, when you're in it. And so there is value in learning from people who are in it, and there is value in learning from people who are, outside of it, but in it at the same time in the way that I am. And so, it's about coming with that marketing lens too. Like your own business the best. I am here to help you take everything you know about yourself and share it in the best way with other people. If I can, champion on business owners, that's all I'm here to do, is to cheer you on and find the best way to sell yourself, because it's hard to sell ourselves, but it's easier to sell other people. And that's what I love. And we're going to talk about how to do that and how to show up for yourself so that you reach Gen Z especially.
And so if you're listening in and you have not attended WOW before and you might be on the fence, Emily is a new voice. Emily is a interesting voice. Emily is an informative voice. Emily is somebody you're going to want to know. Emily, tell those 10 or 15 people that might be on the fence why they should join us at WOW, and takeaways they're going to get from your session especially, and why they should go ahead and get in and have their butts in the seats so they can learn and grow.
Yeah, you should register because it's my first time too. And I am approachable, as Bobbi said. So I'm going to be looking for new friends because it's my first time there. So I'm looking for all, first time friends. And it's, we learn when we put ourselves out of our comfort zone, especially. And so if it is your first conference or just your first WOW, like it's, it can be scary, but the information that you'll leave with when you go to a conference and you get inspired is so important. And you will thank yourself for it later down the line, maybe in a month, maybe in a year, maybe in 10 years, you're going to look back and be like, that was really formative for me. And that really kickstarted the next level of my business, whether you are brand new or you have been in business for a long time. And in terms of what are you going to get out of my presentation, many things, I hope, but we're talking about Gen Z. So there's going to be stats, and we're going to talk about how to really understand those statistics. I love analytics, and not in a way I'm going to bore you with numbers, but in a way that I'm going to say, hey, this is important, and here's why, and here's what the studies show about what they're looking for. And I know that this has been especially a hard year in the wedding industry for a lot of people. And so we're going to talk about how do we not get down on that and focus on how we're going to continue to reach new people as the wedding industry evolves, and breaking it down in a simple way that you are going to be able to leave and have content ideas immediately. And if you want to, go back to your room at lunch and create them, you're going to be ready to go. So you are going to leave with a plan, and you're going to know how to reach the people you want to be reaching.
Absolutely. And I will attest that she brings it to the level of the energy that she brings here. She makes you understand. But again, friends, she makes you feel valuable. She makes you feel like you're capable of doing this. And she knows that that's my heart, confidence, and mindset. That's what we want to bring to you. So again, a great job ABC has done. You know how to reach her on social media. This is your opportunity. You've met her now a little bit face-to-face as a new face. Reach out to her. Send her a DM. I'm telling you that Emily, if you ask her a question, she'll probably prepare 2 or 3 things for you at the conference that you can walk up and she's going to say, Susie, I got this for you, right? So go ahead and start that connection. Go ahead and start building that bridge so that you get to know some of these speakers. That's why this is so passionate for me to bring the speakers to you in a little bit of different light before you get there so that you're excited and you can really start putting your mindset together that you're walking away with some knowledge. And this conference this year, Erin, all the things that Erin is doing to make this conference more excitable, aside from education, this is going to be a wonderful networking of like-minded individuals, and you're going to leave knowing that you're meant to be in this industry. And Emily, you are meant to be in this industry. So,
you got you, Bobbi. As you know, you're meant to be here. And I'm excited to be here. And I want to echo that. Yeah, slide into the DMs, yep. Adam and Rochotte on Instagram. And it's helpful too, right? The more questions you ask, the more tailored the presentation can be. So all of you come say hello. I promise I'm not scary. And It's going to make the presentation even more informative for you come November.
I can't wait to see all of you in St. Louis, my hometown. So get those tickets. If you're on the fence, get the tickets because we want to see you. We want to empower you. And as the speakers, I speak for all of us, we get so much energy and empowerment back from all of you. So till next time, my friends, we'll see you in November. Emily, I'll see you in November.
Yeah, can't wait.
Bye-bye.